Welcome to our Super Hoots Walk. It's a brand new QPR podcast, and this week we're talking about Alfie Lloyd. He has to start games. Plus, we're talking about Anderson, and most people's views is that Morgan definitely should start ahead of him. And just the Championship and football in general feel a bit flat so far this season. We've got Jawad and Michael here back with us to discuss that. Do drop us a subscribe if you're just coming across it. Right, Jawad? We're talking about the Bristol City game. Their fans said you didn't deserve anything out of that game. Were they right?
I think first half, Bristol City were definitely the better side without creating loads. I don't remember Nardi making that many saves. Second half, we kind of got a foothold, and I would say the last 10 minutes there were 2 or 3 little half chances where we could have sneaked it, I think, but. I wouldn't say we deserved much from the game. I think the last 2 performances, the Oxford game, the first half was the worst Championship game I've ever seen. It was the worst half of football. I'm not sure we improved that much on Saturday, but 4 points, and yeah, we can't argue with that.
Absolutely, and you're not looking so much down the barrel of a gun as we were 2 weeks ago. Michael, let's look at some of the takes from the game. First of all, though, we need to celebrate this, don't we? Here's the form table for the whole Championship. Blackburn obviously right there at the top, but look at you guys. Who'd have said that a month ago, eh, Michael?
I know, it's quite nice to see, actually. Our performances have been improving, apart from yesterday's game, I think. We were poor, but, we still got the points, so I can take that.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about Alfie Lloyd then, shall we? Jane's mum said, we'll take that. Surely Lloyd has to start. Harry says, we were flat for an hour, bailed out by a super finish. Some bizarre goal came in. A good half from Alfie Lloyd. He looks a very good option away from home. Smith, man of the match. Come on, you ours. Let's talk about Alfie Lloyd then. Does he look good, Michael? And should he start more games?
I think he looks good. I don't think he's the finished product yet. I think he is a good option off the bench if we are trailing. And I think with Frey sort of coming back, it would be good to see Frey get a start next Saturday, or at least a cameo. I like Lloyd. He runs around, he runs and he fights for the club, but I don't think he's a finished article, obviously, just yet. And I feel like he has a lot to improve on before we can say we need to start him.
There's lots of love for him online, Jawad, following that game at Ashton Gate. Why wouldn't he start against Preston for you?
I think QPR fans are, for want of a better word, a bit of a fickle bunch, because everyone was calling for Ryan Colley. Obviously scores 2 goals and has a couple of quiet games. Now everyone's calling for Alfie Lloyd. Like Michael said, Frey's back on the bench. I think with Alfie Lloyd, he came from nowhere this season. He was on loan, I think, National League South last season, a couple of injuries, and kind of when he played in pre-season, nobody was expecting it. And in an ideal world, he would have been out on loan this season at a League One or League Two team, maybe, getting some experience. So I think he's really, really raw. I think what you get with him is complete honesty. You get work rate, which some of the other players kind of need to follow as well. And I've got to say, he came on against Oxford, I thought, and did well, and same again yesterday. So if Frey's not fit enough to start, I think maybe he will get a start against Preston.
Okay. Let's go through these ones, Michael. This is from Darren. He says, a great battling performance, but it wasn't great to watch. He says Ashby can't play left back. He keeps passing across the back foot with his right foot. There's the Alfie Lloyd thing, but he says Lloyd starts before Coley. And then we come on to Anderson in a minute, because there's quite a lot of anti-Anderson viewpoints. This one saying you should be nowhere near that starting lineup. Let's talk about the Ashby bit, though. First of all, Michael, do you agree with that?
I do in some regards, but we've got to look at our options at the moment, and he is looking like our best option. And also with him in defence as well, we've not conceded many. He does make mistakes and his passing is a bit wayward, and he likes a shot as well from 30 yards a couple of times a game as well. But we've not looked bad when he's been in defence. He's looked out of place a few times, but it's not his natural position, and he's only young as well. But I think he's doing all right. I think we're obviously waiting on Paul to come back. Hopefully in January as well, we get a new left back in. But I think he's doing a decent enough job at the left back position.
All right. I feel bad talking about Anderson, Jawad, because, like you said, the squad have needed rotation. So, when players come in because of tired legs elsewhere, it's hard, feels bad to criticise them. But that said, should Morgan come in way ahead of him in pretty much every decision between those two now?
Yeah, I think as everyone's getting back fit, I think Anderson will be the one that will probably drop off the bench even. He was so important last season. He did such a great job. His pressing was good. He was good on the ball, and we haven't seen anywhere near that standard from him. I feel a bit sorry for him again because he's honest. He doesn't. It's not that he's being lazy. He looks 2 yards off the pace. I'd say there were times yesterday where it was like he was running in treacle. And I think away from home where you're not going to get much of the ball, I'm not sure he's the best option in there.
Okay. Adam says Anderson should be benched for now, showing no impact in any games he's in. Ian adds to that, saying Morgan should be definitely ahead of Anderson. Good result away from home. There's another point that Adam makes here, Michael. I want to pick your brains. He said Madsen has to have his big pants on. He always shies away from the competitive ball. I think Jawad's mentioned Madsen in the past, so we'll let you take this one, Michael. What's your view on Madsen?
Yeah, I think he's got it pretty spot on there. He, for someone who's 6'3", I believe, he does shy away from getting into that physical challenge. But I think on the ball, and I think technically he's one of our better midfielders. But for someone of his stature, he should be more of a presence than what he actually is. I think he does shy away and does sort of stay out of it a bit. So,
who's your man of the match, Michael? One of them gave it to Smith. Would you agree?
Yeah, Smith. He was sort of running ragged, and his finish was a great finish. I got around. I don't know what the keeper was doing, by the way. It was a complete strange decision just to not take him out. But yeah, I think give it to Smith or Steve Cook. He played well as well.
Yeah. Okay. Jawad, any more that we've missed?
I think Morrison again. I think unbeaten now in the 8 games that he's played. I think 4 clean sheets in a row, wasn't it? And yeah, we kind of were dreading Jake Clark-Salter being out, and the biggest compliment is that we haven't missed him really at all. So it'll be interesting if he gets fit soon to see if he gets back in, because I think maybe he could be an option at left back just because he's got a left foot. But I wouldn't be dropping Morrison or Cook at the moment.
Okay. It's Preston up next then. Quite a direct side away from home, Michael. Can't possibly have waited for all these home wins and then 3 come along at once, can it?
I mean, it would be a good Christmas present, wouldn't it? But I think we definitely have a chance. I think they're a decent side on their day, but we're on good form, and I think we'll be difficult to score against. So.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. What is it about Ashton Gate, by the way? I wanted to ask you because your record there is really, really strange for an away side. I think 4 previous visits we've had ahead of this one, you've won on every occasion. And of course, you go there yesterday and they just can't beat you. Why? You put your finger on what it is about some teams just like playing in certain stadiums. I mean, you've got your own bogey size, haven't you? But you are now, I think, definitely Bristol City's bogey side.
Well, I live in Reading, so it's not that far for me to go. So I'm going to start a campaign to play all our home matches there because I think our record might drastically improve. Yeah, it's a weird one. We don't really seem to have that record anywhere else. I think Cardiff, our record's good as well. So we seem to like a trip down the M4.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a weird one. And they've got three ex QPR players, so it always feels like one of them is gonna score against us as well. So yeah.
I went to uni in Bristol as well, and it was was brilliant fixture every year. Couldn't wait.
Good. Would it surprise you that they want to sell Sinclair Armstrong in January?
I mean, I don't know whether they're going to recuperate what they paid for him. So,
I was reading about his fitness levels, and he just seems to not be able to last more than 45 minutes, and that's what 2 or 3 years now that it's the same issue. So he's clearly either can't do it or he's not addressing that kind of fitness issue, and isn't. He probably put so much into his sprints and stuff that I'm not sure he's cut out to play at this level.
Right, let's focus back on the football then. We're asking everyone this week for our third debate and third discussion whether the Championship has failed to live up to its usual high standards in terms of excitement. It's feeling a little bit flat. I'm probably asking the wrong fans here because you haven't really felt the excitement watching QPR, but in general, watching football, is it the Championship or football in general? Jawad, do you feel there's a problem in football at the moment in general?
I would say general. I didn't know anybody who watched as much football as I used to, and obviously when you have a family, things do change. But I used to love Champions League nights. I don't think I've watched one Champions League game for a year or so, and definitely not in the group phase. With regards to the Championship, if you watched that QPR Oxford game on Wednesday night, it would have put you off football for life, I think. And I think it's definite overkill, isn't it? There's just too much available, too much on. And with the Championship, I think the parachute payments just distort the league so much. And unless somebody is really outstanding, you're going to get your Burnleys going up, coming down, your Leeds going up, coming down, Sheffield United, and it just gets a bit boring, doesn't it? And I'm not a fan of Luton. I can't stand them, but that was exciting to watch them and their run, and it was good to see Coventry doing well. But with Coventry, for example, it looks like you just get one shot at it, and if you miss out on that one shot, then you're back down with the dregs like us. So yeah, I don't think there's a solution because the parachute payments aren't going to stop. But yeah, it's not a fun league anymore, I don't think.
No. I do think as well kickoff times are killing it as well. I think having a Saturday at 12:30 kickoff is killing attendances. It's killing what made the Championship so exciting, which was Saturday 3:00, Tuesday night 7:45, and that was what it was. It was authentic English football, but it's all changed now, and I feel like that is maybe part of the reason why it's just gone to what it is.
It's the two 3:00 games today. Who I didn't even register that there were two games on.
No.
Yeah, it is
kind of.
It is bizarre they
in
put
the
those.
Premier League on a Sunday.
This is it, because the Championship should feature on a Monday night. You would think, or its own slot. Why put Norwich Burnley up against the Manchester Derby? Who's watching Norwich Burnley? It's
and then West Brom Watford. Who even registers that game was going on? Really, apart from the fans of those clubs.
Exactly.
Even if it was 12:00 on a Sunday, at least it's not directly up against the Premier League.
Okay. All right. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much. You two. We'll be back here in 7 days' time to review the last game before Christmas, isn't it? Preston, and then we're into the second half of the season, which sounds crazy. But we're nearly there. We're nearly there in terms of getting this QPR this side back on. I even saw one tweet saying we're after the playoffs if we beat Preston. It's just steady on.
Is it? I think it's 10 points at the moment. Maybe I'm not sure.
It's
not that.
It's not without the realms of possibility. We've been here before, haven't we? Forest were in the relegation zone and went on to be promoted. So it could happen. Keep watching. Right. Thank you, Jawad. Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much for watching. Drop us a subscribe. Please do so. That'll be really much appreciated. We'll see you in 7 days' time to review the Preston game.